Well, it's time to talk about slicing up that cake because, the Republican Party's been promising tax reform.
Yes.
It's something that everybody's been waiting for. And, taxes can be kind of a touchy subject because it involves people's own personal property.
Yes.
And, but taxes fund some really important programs that are near and dear to people's heart, as well as pork projects, and so it can be kind of tough.
Yes.
Maybe that's why the Republicans, even though they've had both houses of Congress and the White House now for quite a while, still haven't gotten it done. They're promising that they will. What's going to happen?
I think they're going to get it done. I think it's going to be done. That's why you see Trump reaching across the aisle to the Democrats and finding Democrats that want to get it done. So he's not going to rely on the Republican leadership. He's going to rely on anybody who is willing to partner with him.
Can the Republicans really count on the Democrats actually wanting tax reform?
Well, I cannot see how, if you're a Republican or a Democrat, you can be for the current tax code. Because the current tax code is for the top 1%, because that's who's benefited under the current code. So we need to turn it around and say, if you're for this code, you are for the top 1%. You're not for all Americans. And
wow.
because the middle class is shrinking, and with the middle class shrinking, so does America shrink.
That's such a great point. It's typically the left that likes to say if you're for tax cuts, you're benefiting the 1%. But you're right to point out that the current tax code is really benefiting the 1%, not the middle class.
Yes.
And and I also know that it's not just about personal taxes. It's also about lowering the taxes on businesses, because the more that they're able to keep their money themselves, that's what's also going to help the middle class by stimulating job growth.
Well, you brought up a really good point about the corporate tax rate. The corporate tax rate in America is one of the highest tax rates in the world. So it's no wonder that jobs are going overseas. So if you want jobs to come back, we need to bring them back through lowering the tax code for corporations.
Right.
Yeah.
We've been talking on the show about the need for unity. Don't we have to start reaching and working together?
Well, I think I do not understand why people were so upset about the debt ceiling. I'll tell you why. We're in the middle of a crisis, and the last thing we need to worry about is whether we have money at that time. It would be like a person having a heart attack and the doctor saying, wait, where's your insurance card?
Yeah.
It's not the time to be talking at that moment about the debt ceiling.
You'd be like, hey, doc, throw the defibrillators on me and I'll get you the card later, right?
Yeah. And then we'll talk about a weight loss program and maybe why I've had a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly.
But this is what we need to do first.
Right.
And so I appreciate that Trump showed leadership.
Right.
And
he's not the first Republican president to reach across the aisle and work with the Democrats, isn't he?
Yeah. Our most successful Republican president in my lifetime was Ronald Reagan, and he had a total Democrat Congress and got so much done for the American people.
Yeah, he worked with Tip O'Neill and he made it happen.
That's right.
So, how could Reagan be a hero and Trump a chump for doing the same thing?
Makes no sense.
All right, well, you're a